Shirley from Kansas City said, Kandi, you and Todd made the tough decision to use a surrogate, and you were worried about your connection with your child. Now that Blaze is born, do you feel just as connected to her as you did with Riley?
It's a good question.
Definitely. That was something that Todd and I talked about recently. We almost forget sometimes that she did make it here through a surrogate.
Ace, remember when we said we were going to let you see your little sister today? She's in Miss Shadina's belly. Okay?
It's like we love her so much, and the bond is like so close. It's no different than any of, my babies that I birthed. I mean, for anybody who has that concern, I would just tell them, it doesn't matter how your baby gets here. You're just going to be so happy. You're going to love them so much. It's just that bond is just going to be there. Andy, you know.
I totally know. I mean, it's an unusual situation, but it's the greatest gift that you could ever give or get. Kandi, it was sad to see Todd and Kayla go through their issues this year. How are they doing?
Kayla is in New York right now because she went back to start working on her fashion goals. But then when the quarantine started, she was already there. But they talk every day. They FaceTime every day. They have a great relationship. But, they have their ups and downs, but they're always good.
Dare I ask how Mama Joyce and Todd are doing?
They're actually doing great.
Really?
Yeah. After Blaze was born, it's like all the arguments that they had just went out the window. My mom got mad at me the other day when the show aired again because, some people will say stuff like, oh, your mama wants your money. And it's like, first of all, my mom was fine before I even started making money. She gave me a good life. And as an adult, it's my duty as her daughter to make sure she has a great life. So my mom just wants y'all to know she is not saying stuff because she needs my money.
Also, she had the issue with the lunchbox when she was a little girl.
Right.
This girl came up to me and she said, "Why you don't have a lunchbox?" I said, "Because my mama give me money." And I opened my hand and she took my money. And that's when I stopped trusting people.
All right.
I feel like she believed that, and it really did mold and shape her to who she is. Mama Joyce, I know it may come off some type of ways, but she just is really passionate about her daughter. And he's just an innocent bystander, honey. He's just a casualty of Mama War of trying to make sure Kandi is good.
Eva, it was so sweet to see Marley change her last name.
It is hereby decreed that the name of minor child Marley Ray McCall is changed to Marley Ray Sterling.
You had mentioned on the show that the next logical step would be Mike adopting her. Where are you in that regard?
I was sued by the donor asking for a reversal on the name change for child support and for custody.
Wow.
And he came to Georgia and acted a fool in the courtroom, got arrested.
Yeah. It's a sensitive topic, I know. How long were you actually with the donor?
So to keep it completely real, it was one of those situations where I was on that I'm doing me thing. It's all about Eva. And I met this guy, we hung out, we definitely started having sex, but we weren't in a real serious relationship. And then I ended up finding out that I was pregnant. And I know that a few of the ladies on this screen are victims of abuse, if it's verbal or physical or mental. But it was one of those things where I had definitely saw signs before. I don't know why I was naive enough to think that it wouldn't be me. It's I told no one until he beat me so bad that I couldn't help it. And the police officer, when he came to the house, said, "You have to press charges." And I finally did after a year and a half. And I can say 5 years later, my life is completely different. Thank God.
Praise God.
That is an incredible story.
It's not easy to talk about it. And even though you know it's not your fault, for some reason in there, you still feel guilt. It's just, it's
I look at you, and I brought this up with you earlier, Kenya. You're both such strong women, and it just goes to show you can be a very strong person and fall in with the wrong guy and who could maybe, treat you not so well.
He was put in my life so that I could bring the biggest sunshine into my family, which is my daughter, Marley. I wouldn't take it back, because if I took it back, I wouldn't have her.
I'm sending you a big hug.
Thank you. Yeah, I need a second. I hate talking about him. He's oh, I will fight with any of these women. I hate talking about him.